Hello, I'm Wimp, and today I'm going to be recording another video on Elder Scrolls speculation. In today's video, I want and quests. So I'll be talking about the major guilds, quest design in general, and knighthoods, definitely knighthoods. But more so about guilds. So we'll get into it straight away. So the thing I wanted to talk about is the Fighters Guild, Okay, my mic just cut out there because I fiddled with the wires for a minute, but no good loss. But yeah, so like I said in the other video, which yes was poorly voiced, it was really late at night, and I was like, yes, of course we do. But anyway, so like I mentioned in that video, in the Elder Scrolls 2, Daggerfall, when you joined the guild, and if you failed the first quest, then you weren't allowed back in because you obviously gave them a bad impression that, oh, you failed the easiest task we got you, you're not worthy of joining. And in Daggerfall, like I mentioned again, I'll mention it here as well, is they usually send you to a house to go and clear out a creature. This is something I want returning, but definitely made more, like, you know, bigger. So not just going to a house. So, like I said, again, I'm re-mentioning a lot of things, but they incorporate into this, is the cities in this game are going to be King's Landing kind of big. Not with a million people, definitely not a million NPCs like there is in King's Landing in Game of Thrones, but half as big as that, because that city is too big. Definitely those kind, so all the Skyrim cities mixed into one, that's how big they should be, so let's just say King's Landing big. So the Fighters Guild is going to be this huge thing, as well as the Mage Guild, and each city is going to have its own set of guilds. So the College of Winter, the Mage Guild in Skyrim is not just going to be in Winterhold. So you want to join, then you don't do all that crap in Skyrim where you go out to the back and train with Vilcus, you speak to the dude, you just go in there, join, they set up your quest. Now this quest is, because the world is going to be huge, to make space for the massive, like the desert is going to be, like, I don't even know how big, just really big, and so is the landscape, so they're going to get you a quest, you're going to say, okay, I haven't written a script for this, so this is coming straight off the top of my head, so they're going to say something like, perhaps the palace in unnamed town, because I'm not making up towns, not here, has got an infestation of rats. Yes, I said it. Fighters Guild and rats. It's the most basic thing, but it's good for a first quest. So there's been an infestation of rats in this city, and you have 5 days to do it. Yes, I'm bringing back timed quests. So you can't just, get a quest from the Fighters Guild and leave it in your miscellaneous tab for, 400 hours. You have 5 in-game days to do it. Obviously, I'll talk about time and stuff in a future video. So you don't fast travel unless you take the bus, or the Silk Strider, or the, perhaps some kind of wagon travel like in Skyrim. But that's the thing we need, is the wagon system was useless in Skyrim because you could just fast travel to these locations. It was just for roleplay. But this time it's going to be, useful. So you can't fast travel. So if you walk there and you make it on time, you say you have, you made it there within a day. It was because, if you get a quest that's on a town that's farther away, you get more time, obviously, but 5-day quest, the town's 1 day away, so you get into the palace. Well, it's not really the palace because it's a town, isn't it? So it would just be like a, kind of like a lord's hut, well, not hut, like lord's manor. So you go in there and then the lord will tell you, are you one of thing going to clear out my rats. They're in the basement. They've chewed a hole through. They've gotten through the cobblestone in the wall. So you go down to the basement, kill the rats, which if you so you kill the rats. Then you go back, and then you completed the easiest task. So then the Fighters Guild will give you the money, say 50 gold because it's just rats, and then you'll be open to more quests because you've given them a good impression. Now for the Mages Guild, again, each city has its own Mages Guild. These guilds are going to be huge, by the way. They're not just going to be like small towers like they were in Daggerfall, or like upside down boats, or like a block in Morrowind. These are going to be like, the guild should be the size, like half the size of Whiterun. These are how big the guild should be, because these are massive, massive cities. Because you could fit around 10 Whiteruns in the cities I'm looking at, so perhaps you could make it as big as Whiterun, have the guilds, really big part of certain cities, and in other cities they'd be smaller. So for the Mages Guild, I won't talk about guild design because that's up to them, isn't it? But you go in, now if you, in Skyrim, you could be a warrior, blade, shield, heavy armour, completely covered with, you've never ever touched a spell in the entire game, and you can become the Archmage. That is stupid. See, in Morrowind, they won't let you into the guild unless you're skilled enough in a select few of mage skills. So you have to be destruction, mysticism, and illusion. Let's say you have to have say 40 or 50 in level 40 or 50 in those skills before they let you in. So you have to be playing a mage to get into the Mages Guild, and if you do get in and you decide to switch to swords, the quests will be designed around the magic, so you can't really progress with swords because these are going to be puzzles that include magic. So in the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, there was a Mages Guild quest that you had to go into a well and get this ring from this guy. I think it was a ring, I'm not sure. But if you had heavy armour on, then you went into the well because it was completely flooded, so you weren't able to move and you drown and die. So you'd have to have a high enough magic skill to use a spell called Buoyancy, I think it was, or some kind of underwater breathing spell, which lets you move and breathe underwater, so you could go and get the ring, and you have to have a high skill to use the spell, and that's something I want. You have to be a dedicated mage for the Mage Guild, and a dedicated fighter for the Fighters Guild. Mage is an option for the Fighters Guild, but in the Fighters Guild, you'll be prompted to, it's like a sword and shield kind of paladin thing. So the other guilds in the game, I believe, is the Thieves Guild. We'll get into the Dark Brotherhood last. Now the Thieves Guild, you're going to have to be a thief. Obviously, you can't just have heavy armour, two-handed sword, and sneaking around into a mansion. Well, most of the Thieves Guild quests in Skyrim anyway were just dungeons. So in this game, in order to get in, you're going to be tasked with going into this huge, there's going to be a set of jewels under the ruler of the city's palace. So if you have to have a high enough sneak skill, a high enough security skill. Now, for you people who haven't really played the older games, security is essentially lockpick. You won't need pickpocketing. You won't need pickpocketing until much later in the quest line, but you will need it eventually. So just for starters, you'll need 50 security to break the medium high level lock on the under door of the palace. There's a way in outside the city. There's a small rock with a locked gate, and you have to get in with the lockpick. And sneak skill, obviously, to sneak around. Now, if you're wearing heavy armour, heavy boots, heavy chest plate, and you're sneaking around, you're going to make loads of noise. Your armour's going to be clanking and chanking, and chains are going to be clinging around, which is going to alert the guards and get you killed, basically, because you will die if you're caught sneaking under the palace. So if you're wearing the leather armour that the guild provides you, or whatever sneaky armour, So you go in there, you steal the gem, and you go back to them, and you present them the gem, and then they let you in as the guild. See, if you fail this quest, and you pay off, and you manage, and you got a high enough reputation that the guards don't kill you, and you go back to the Thieves Guild, they'll kick you out for good. And they say if you ever come back in, they will kill you. But if you do get the gem, they'll let you in, and then obviously fight whatever you get, more quest lines. Now, the Dark Brotherhood, they're not. It's going to be the same thing with each guild. They're going to kick you out if you fail the first quest. So the first quest of the Dark Brotherhood is not going to be anything. Not going to be killing the Emperor, or going into a dungeon to retrieve whatever. The first thing is going to be someone's put a contract on an outlaw, and this outlaw is below the pay grade of the real members, so they send you, the one who hasn't even joined the guild yet, to go and take him out. So if you go up to him and batter him down with a mace and a huge shield, the guild won't let you in, because that's not sassing, that's just running up and bludgeoning the guy. So what you have to do is you have to wait for him to get into the perfect spot in this house. You have to sneak in, again with security and sneaking, and you have to actually assassinate him with your sword or with a dagger. And obviously the Dark Brotherhood have eyes everywhere, so they'll know. So then you go back to them and they say, well done, whatever, here's like 50 gold, 100 gold, because this guy's going to be a weak level outlaw who probably stole some guy's like blacksmithing tools or something. Well, not that stupid, but it's probably someone's, or killed one of their friends, whatever. So then they let you in, they get you the assassin's armour. And you're in the guild then, obviously more quest lines. So now on to the final thing I wanted to say about these videos, is the Knighthoods. Now, the Knighthoods in, well, there was no such thing as a knighthood after Daggerfall. You could choose to play as a knight class in Oblivion, but you're not actually a knight. You're not like Sir whatever. But the Knighthoods in Daggerfall, they aim to do one thing. They don't just go around killing everything. Knighthoods clash in Daggerfall. So say the Knights of the Akatosh or the Dragon, whatever, I don't think this is correct, but one of them hates the Daedra. They absolutely cannot stand them. So they in particular target the Daedra. It's a fly. Anyway, other Knighthoods will target other things. They don't care about the Daedra. They want to kill the dragons, the dragon worshipper. So the Knights of the Dragon, you're sent to kill them because you're, say, anti-dragon, whatever. And then the third knighthood or the fourth, fifth, whatever, has a certain goal, and they clash with each other. And if you're a Knight of the Dragon and you decide to waltz into, there are people talking outside my door. I'm just gonna hope they don't come in. I'll have to mute the mic if I do. Anyway, if you waltz into if you're a Knight of the Dragon and you waltz into the Knights of the Nine, not Knights of the Nine, but another knighthood, they'll, discreet you like, oh, you're one of those. We don't want you in here. But some of them don't clash. Not all of them clash. So you are free to go and speak to other people. Perhaps one of the knights could be into the main quest, but yeah, the knighthoods work the same as guilds, really. Obviously, you go in the first quest, some of them are harder, some of them are less. Like the Daedra ones, they send you after a Dremora, because Daedra aren't completely destroyed in Elder Scrolls 6. Or it could be like a dwarven. They go after dwarf, but they send you after like a medium-scaled Dremora, and then obviously it's a tough challenge when you do kill it. You go back, then they let you in like normal. So, I think that was all the guilds in the playing. I'm sure there's another one, but I can't quite pin it down. So I've got an upload schedule now. I'm gonna try and do an episode of these Elder Scrolls videos and then an episode of Doom, because I like playing Doom and I like recording Doom. So I'm gonna upload a silent playthrough of Doom 1 and 2, 1993 and 1994. So it'll be Elder Scrolls Doom, Elder Scrolls Doom. Anyway, that's been me. This has been Wavy Imp talking about the Elder Scrolls 6 and what could make it the greatest game ever. I said this was going to be a location speculation video, but there are hundreds and millions of thousands of those online. You got ESO, Elder Scrolls and Fallout guides, you got Fudge Map, you got Camelworks, you got even I forgot his name, Zahacaron. I think he did one. His ideal Elder Scrolls 6. Yeah, there's loads of them on there. So I think next time I'll talk about ideal shops and taverns and ideal like stores and taverns and stuff. So that'll be next video. And bye for now.